I would like to welcome you all most warmly to this congregation ceremony at the University of East Anglia. The purpose of the ceremony is to confer degrees and other awards on candidates of the School of Computing Sciences and the School of Pharmacy. I now declare this congregation open. Congregation marks the culmination of the academic calendar, a time for congratulations and celebrations. And this year, it marks, too, a major milestone in UEA's history, the completion of our first half-century. Let me begin with heartfelt thanks to all the family and friends of our graduands who've made the journey to be with us for the occasion. We know the crucial behind-the-scenes role you have played, an extraordinary unpaid army of tireless chauffeurs, willing removal men and women, all-round comprehensive emergency services, and interest-free bankers of last resort. It's very nice to have you with us. I suspect that your predecessors of 50 years ago, hearing that, would say, not a lot has changed then. Apart from the fact that back in the early 1960s, when UEA began, the new music blaring out on the journey to Norwich was the Beatles. Not a single stretch of the road from London was dualled, and difficult though it is to believe, Norwich City was only in the second division. Looking across those 50 years, it's remarkable how far the university has come while remaining true to its founding vision. From the beginning, its staff and students were encouraged to innovate. The founding Vice-Chancellor, Professor Frank Thistlethwaite, told those first cohorts that the new university was East Anglia's experimental ground and that it is for you to see what you can make of your part of it. And experiment we did. While creating arguably the best designed campus in England, UEA broke down conventional boundaries between disciplines. It developed the academic study of the environment, drawing on the physical, chemical, biological, and social sciences, and thereby played a vital role in alerting humanity to environmental processes that are redefining the human predicament. We pioneered the study of creative writing, turning Norwich into England's city of literature, blazed the trail in subjects from international development to American studies, and have continued to innovate across the full range of subject areas. We introduced new ways of teaching with special emphasis on learning through seminars and small groups, and year on year, staff and students have worked in partnership to develop and enhance them. Our academic reputation has grown accordingly. Measured in terms of intellectual impact, our research places us in the world's top 100 universities. For overall quality, we are now among the UK's top 20. Most pleasing of all is the latest Times Higher survey of student opinion. Having been in the top half dozen in each of the last 5 years of that survey, in this, our 50th year, with a beautifully timed run, we have been voted the outright winner, the university that offers the best student experience in the country. An accolade that, especially in the year in which both fees and student expectations have leapt upwards, should make all those associated with UEA glow with pride. Delicious to beat Oxford into second place, with Cambridge a respectful distance back in third. We don't yet match them in everything, but it's great fun to have our nose ahead in key areas. They have, after all, had a head start of 5 centuries in which to get their act together. That we have so much to celebrate on our 50th anniversary reflects, above all, the way that you, today's graduands, and your forerunners, drawn from the United Kingdom and from over 100 countries across the world, have individually and collectively risen to the challenges set and the opportunities offered. To underscore UEA's coming of age, our list of honorary graduands this summer is drawn exclusively from our own alumni. They epitomize the quality, achievement, and public spirit so evident amongst the 113 students of the class of 1963, the 4,000 graduating this week, and over 100,000 in between. You are joining an international family of UEA alumni, a formidable network of potential mentors and allies through which I hope one day you in due course will support those who follow you. Whether you're set to become another UEA Booker Prize-winning novelist, another UEA President of Zanzibar or Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police, or indeed another UEA Doctor Who, I know each of you will make your own distinctive contribution to the world. And as you do so, I hope you will remember and fondly your time at UEA. And of course, we look forward to welcoming you back in summer 2063 for our 100th anniversary. Now, in a moment, the graduands will come to the stage to receive their awards. But before then, I have the very enjoyable task of marking the contribution of a particular colleague to the life and work of the university. Every year, we make an award to recognise those members of staff who are outstanding teachers. And I'm pleased to announce that one such Excellence in Teaching Award has been made to Dr. James Desborough in the School of Pharmacy. James, the panel was particularly impressed by your organisation, your pastoral care, and the remarkably high number of positive module evaluations that your teaching receives. Very many congratulations. And now I hand the floor to our graduands. This is your day. Please enjoy it.
Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour to certify that the candidates to be presented at this congregation have complied with all the conditions required by the University. I now call upon the heads of the schools to present the candidates.
Vice-Chancellor, I present to you candidates from the School of Computing Sciences for the award of degrees.
By the authority of the University, I confer on these candidates the awards for which they have qualified.
The degree of Doctor Philosophy, Christopher Stephen Applegate. Jakaran Singnu. Sarah Louise Taylor. Pela Aurora Tronsosco Ray. The degree of Master of Science by Research, Jeffrey William French. Paraskevi Pericles. The degree of Master of Science, Christopher Martin Borsnell. Gareth Cairns. David Michael Cutting. Liam Thomas Dolder. Neil Edwards. Zelim Khan Garikhanov. Anthony John Griffiths. Oliver David Henderson. Dinuka Bandara Herath. Feifi G. Oliver Terry Jane Pascal Legat. Pantelis Lekakis. Lalitha Narayanan. Robert Bernard Powell. Adam Richard Reed. Bradley Rivers. Oliver Francis Stevens. Tugba Tosun. Laszlo Toth. The degree of Master of Computing, Edgaras Baranuskas. Parry G. Magindi. The degree of Bachelor of Science, Stephanie Adams. Mustafa Ahmed. Dami Akinwale. Laraib Ali. Ashley Allard. Danielle Louise Ashley. Grant Alexander Ashton. Luke Barkley. Jonathan Charles Beachy. Prize for Distinguished Performance in Year 1 Assessment and the BCS Prize are awarded to Dinara Bed Shava. Scott Anthony Thomas Bevans. Samuel Bowen. Sean John Anthony Bucknell. Prize for Distinguished Performance in the Final Year Assessment in Actuarial Science is awarded to Edmund Campion. Robert Kirchhoff. Philip Cocker. Charles Frank Cope. Aviva Insurance UK Prize and the PricewaterhouseCoopers Prize are awarded to Oliver James Crocombe. Moses Fola Dada. Joshua Nathan Dadswell. Jack Davis. Richard Davis. Wilma Tantenda Dida. Ashley Eek. Robert John Ellis. Seyi Fatsoon. Sean Paul Fenn. Abigail Friend. Jack Fry. Ibrahim Gaboufriev. Christopher Simon Peter Girlstone. Rachel Goodman. Jack Green. Prize for distinguished performance in the foundation year, in year 1, in year 2, and in final year assessment, and the Pearson Education Prize in Computing Science are awarded to David Allen Greenwood. Jan Kazim Roth Gulen. William Harris. Adam Haravan. Max Xavier Hepplewhite. Connell James Hooley. Andrew David Howard. Victoria Jeffrey. Luke Jennings Hatt. Ross Johnson. Stephen John Jones. Christopher Patrick Lanham. Prize for distinguished performance in final year assessment is awarded to Thomas Lee Kurnu. Eleanor Jane Leist. Mo Lee. Song Yun Liang. Paul Lucking. Ben William Maxfield. Jasmine Mesmain. Taylor Mitchell St. Joseph. Gordon Nassan Mulwana Mugai. Ilyas Nachikov. Beatrice Wairumu Nungdiu. Lee Thiet Vu Nguyen. Michael Oldman. Prize for distinguished performance in the final year assessment in business statistics is awarded to Alexander Ogby. Hagil Azdemeric. The Douglas Lewin Memorial Prize is awarded to Christopher Pantling. Manish David Patel. Danny Peaker. Thomas Philbrooks. Tristan Potter. Jamie Alexander Rouse. Christopher Darren Rickson. Sylvia Rogo. Natalie Rowlands. Daniel James Sadler. Matthew Salt. Cassie Rebecca Savage. Jonathan Screven. James Singleton. Andrew Smith. Ashley Smith. Joe William Stewart. Daniel Straw. Lucy Tonard. Hussein Udin. Nadim Vasali. Ruth Vivas. Vitaly Vukulov. Simon Watts. Kim Summer Wheeler. Catherine Alice Whiter. Catherine Louise Wilkinson. Andrew Peter Simon Wood. David Peter Woodward. Xiaowen Xie. Orkan Yusupov. Adam Thomas Zilawski.
Vice-Chancellor, I present to you candidates from the School of Pharmacy for the award of degrees and diplomas.
By the authority of the university, I confer on these candidates the awards for which they have qualified.
The degree of Doctor of Philosophy, David Adam Baker. Seok Yi Chan. Sebastian Siegfried Gurka. Sally Ann Heisman. Richard Oliver Jacks. Rosebery Margaret Dorothy Norton. Andrew Osborne. Julia Pergolesi. Michael James Twigg. The degree of Master of Philosophy, Lydia Elspeth Werry. The postgraduate diploma, Pui Lin Chui. Dorota Barbara Sanoska. Isabel Mulenga Mandona. Michelle Roberto Rella. And Dawn Michelle Whitbourne. The degree of Master of Pharmacy, Amma Abbas. Fatma Nurain Abu Jabal. Yvette Amma Serwa Agyako. Zishan Ahmed. Sukhjit Kaur Ark. Rebecca Emily Sylvia Arnold. The Takeda Cambridge Prize for Advanced Drug Discovery and Drug Delivery, the Takeda Cambridge Prize for Drug Design and Mechanisms of Drug Action, and the Andrew Thompson Prize, sponsored by Takeda Cambridge, are awarded to Sean Askin. Olawa Funmileo Rhoda Ayeni. David Tolalupe Babatunde. Francesca Jane Ball. John David Barber. Vijayata Barrow. Jessica Alice Bartlett. Maeve Bonner. Catherine Bromelo. Tang Quan Bui. Sana Farouk Chowdhury. Darshana Chauhan. Harkamal Chima. Clara Min Yang Cheong. The Takeda Cambridge Prize for Life Sciences Chemistry is awarded to Tatenda Ronald Chiposi. Mariam Daldar. Megan Rebecca Drew. Abigail Margaret Beth Foster. George Gordon. The Rosemont Prize for Molecular Pharmacology, the Lloyds Prize, the Bob Shaw Prize, the AstraZeneca Prize, Mundi Pharma International Pharmaceuticals Life Sciences Prize, the GlaxoSmithKline Prize, the Royal Pharmaceutical Society of Great Britain Local Branch Prize, and the Royal Pharmaceutical Society Prize are awarded to Katie Louise Grice. Mohammed Halcyon. Katie Hodgson. Bashir Hussain. Martina Maria Jakovic. Aaron Jones. The Alumni Prize is awarded to Ross Kelly. Gersharan Kaur Kira. Rosalie Kimber. The Rosemont Prize for Medicines Management is awarded to Laura King. The LPC Prize is awarded to Victoria Ruth King. Anita Borislavova Loznova. Kerry Lockett. Ian Andrew McNeil. Erica Kian Malcolm. Ema McGeehan. Roisin McManaman. The LPC Prize is awarded to Timothy Meadows. Priscilla Ikua Mills Robertson. Anthony Roy Mitchell. Denisa Milescu. Charlotte Moore. Raymond Chu Leong Nu. Stephanie Afua Ofori Kuma. Abisola Oluwaseun Ojo. Raj Bhupender Ondia. Vikram Pandya. Cassie Kai Sin Pang. Kiran Parkash. Stephanie Victoria Parker. The LPC prize is awarded to Kirsten Victoria Patching. Reena Patel. Trishul Surendra Patel. Tulshi Patel. The LPC prize is awarded to Courtney Sarah Pearson. Jennifer Perrault. Nadine Perry. Emma Pringleton. Hannah Rogers. Vijay Prakash Ruparelia. Samuel Rutherford. The Rosemont Prize for Drug Delivery and the Baxter's Healthcare Prize are awarded to Victoria Louise Sampson. Cheryl Santiago. Matthew Seymour. Aishana Sustri. Sophie Jane Simpson. Kashturi Mahi Sivantha Sonthi. Jack Peter Skinner. Jennifer Yvonne Solomon. Jack Staunton. Tasnima Sultana. Martina Svubova. Alice Caroline Mary Townsend. Tran Noknat Twan. Hugh Lee Truong. Neville Plapara Varghese. Joanne Vesey. Vishal Vyas. Patty Whiteside. Laura Jane Wilson. Derek Gingchu Won. Sai Krishna Yalamanchili. Mahavish Yakub. Matthew Youngman. The degree of Bachelor of Science, Daniel Fish. Nurzamai Haji Abd Hamid. Lucy Ann Moyes. Pavlos Pavlou. From the School of Biological Sciences, for the degree of Master of Science, Jessica Knapp.
Vice-Chancellor, the Senate has resolved to confer the degree of Doctor of Civil Law honoris causa upon Ayaz Ibrahim.
Our honorary graduate today is Ayaz Ibrahim, who is Chief Investment Officer for Asia at Amundi Asset Management. Amundi has under its control the order of 1,000 billion US dollars, and quite a bit of that fabulous wealth is under the control of Ayaz. For an international university like UEA, it feels particularly significant to be honouring a man who is operational in the major region of the last 2 decades, Asia. Much of the money that is used to fund the UK's debt will come from Asia. Many of our top students come from Asia, and of course many of our products are manufactured there. Even in this year, when China is having a slowdown, their growth will be 7.5% per annum. Some slowdown. In short, the flow of money to and from Asia is a matter of national importance. It needs to be conducted with the highest standards of enterprise and probity, and our man Ayaz is at the heart of it. This is a special year for us, our 50th anniversary, and this year we're celebrating our own graduates. So it's a special pleasure to celebrate Ayaz, since he graduated in accounting and finance in what was then the School of Information Systems in 1982. It goes without saying that a man of such talents was going to go far. He started his career at PricewaterhouseCoopers in London, then to Hong Kong with BZW, the capital arm of Barclays, then Hore Gavett, where he was head of research for Hong Kong banks and conglomerates. He then moved into asset management, where he joined HSBC as chief investment officer for its asset management business, was then the CEO of Halbis, the investment arm of HSBC in Hong Kong, and then a brief stint at Deutsche Asset Management. He joined Amundi after that, where he has been since 2007. Just looking at this sparkling career, one is struck by how enormously cosmopolitan it is. And it gives us a special pleasure to recall how a special student has gone on to achieve special things in a part of the world that has special significance. But what of Ayaz's student career? What do the archives show? Well, ladies and gentlemen, cast your minds back to 1982. The country was agrip with tales from the cricket test match. No change. Ian Botham was hitting the Australians for 6, and all was all right in the world as far as any Englishman was concerned. But striding onto the crease in Norwich was the captain of the UEA First 11, Ayaz Ibrahim. Now, before I continue this story, I realise obviously you are a very intelligent audience. I can see that just by looking at you. But perhaps you are not super familiar with the rules of the game of cricket. If not, and don't worry if you're not, here is a compressed version of cricket. So, in cricket, there are 2 sides, each with 11 men, 1 out in the field and 1 in. Each man that's in the side that goes in goes out, and when he's out, he comes in, and the next man goes in and he's out. When they're all out, the side that's out comes in, and the side that's been in goes out and tries to get those coming in out. There are men called umpires who stay out all the time, and they decide when the men who are in are out. When both sides have been in and all men have been out, and both sides have been out twice after all the men have been in, including those who are not out, then that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the game. Simples. So, now return to our story of Ayaz, captaining the UEA First 11. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it is a little acknowledged fact that the cricket season also corresponds with the exam season. So, across the land, as summer comes, the captains of England's best cricket teams are faced with one of the greatest ethical questions that these green and pleasant lands demand. Cricket or exam? Well, Ayaz, thinking carefully about his academic future, the expectation of his parents, the importance of his qualifications, chose cricket. Unfortunately, his other teammates chose exam. So Ayaz was in a dilemma. As he scoured the list of available cricketers, there was not much choice. Well, he couldn't even catch influenza, he thought, thinking about a particularly feeble fielder. And then I should remember, because I'm the same era as Ayaz, there was a player who, when asked to spell bowling, replied B-O-E-L-I-N. Surely one of the worst spells of bowling ever. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. So, in short, there was not a lot of choice. But Ayaz, undaunted and following the UEA motto of do different, selected the captain of the women's team to play for the men's first 11. Well, one would have thought the world had ended. Never has so much controversy been created in the cricketing world, at least not since Brian Johnson, the famous cricket commentator, introducing the next delivery from a West Indian bowler, Michael Holding, to the English batsman, Peter Willey, did so with the words, "The bowler's holding the batsman's willy." As you can imagine, much fuss was made of this selection, but Ayaz, good man, stuck to his woman, and history records what an excellent choice she was. A small blow was struck for equality and a large one for UEA, since, I am told, UEA went on to win. And Ayaz's love of cricket remains. Today he is a director of Fourth Dimension, an international sports education organisation, which runs a cricket education programme in partnership with Cricket Australia and Cricket India Academy. Truly, Ayaz Ibrahim is a man of whom UEA can be proud. He is a master of finance in an industry which is not short of self-proclaimed masters of finance. He's an ardent supporter of England's finest sports, and as we now know, he knows a competent woman when he sees one. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you Ayaz Ibrahim for the degree of Doctor of Civil Law, honoris causa.
I confer upon Ayaz Ibrahim the degree of Doctor of Civil Law, honoris causa. I now invite Ayaz Ibrahim to address the congregation.
Vice-Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and children of the audience. I'll make this short because I know it's rather warm in here, but certainly the privilege that I've been bestowed with today, I am completely humbled and lost for words for. I sat here 30 years ago, roughly. I know I look younger than that, but looks can be deceiving. I never thought that I would be up here again, especially receiving such an honor. And I must thank the Vice-Chancellor and his colleagues for that. And as I said, words can never express how thankful and grateful I am for that. Thank you very much. A few things that Dr. Richard Harvey said, and thank you for the wonderful, wonderful comments, was about Asia. And it was very interesting for me yesterday when I was coming up to Norwich by train. I was reading the Financial Times, and there's no doubt, as Dr. Richard said earlier on, is that Asia has been a power of growth now for a few decades. However, flicking through the Financial Times yesterday, it was interesting for me to observe, which we know already, is that on one hand, there were articles about Asia saying how Asia now is investing significantly into London assets and European assets, and big sovereign funds such as China, Malaysia, Korea, etc., were investing all over the world, which is an indication of the growth rates that we've seen and the financial strength that we see from these countries. That was one hand. On the other hand, there were articles talking about environmental issues in China, health and environmental issues in India, as well as corporate governance issues in certain companies around Asia. So there's no doubt that Asia has grown, but there's a lot to be done to make that growth more balanced. And certainly what I would say is that the University of East Anglia and other such institutions have a lot to offer. And those who are graduating today, I would encourage all of you to travel to Asia, look at Asia, and help Asia for a much more balanced growth going forward in areas of your expertise. Asia now needs to harness the growth it's had, but balance that growth in many areas where all of you can certainly offer that. And I think there's a wonderful opportunity. Two more remarks very quickly. I have a lot of people to thank for what I've achieved. I still believe that I feel a little bit humbled by all of this, but for whatever I've done in life, I have a small number of people to thank for. One of them is sitting right over here, is my wife, who I got married to in 1993, and has supported me and given me a lot of confidence and a lot of luck all these years. My son is a more recent addition, and he's such a wonderful part of our life, and words can't express that. I'd also like to thank my father, who unfortunately cannot be here, but he has never, ever lost confidence in me, and I thank him dearly for that. To close, what I would say is that the world has a lot to offer. And this is a bit of advice from a 49-year-old man to those who have just graduated today. The world has a lot to offer, but you have to go and find it. So my advice is go out and find it, make the most of it, but also enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Well, those charming and very thoughtful words bring to a conclusion the formal business of congregation. But before we close, I would like to propose one more vote of thanks to the staff of the university, the academic staff and the support staff, whose imagination and professionalism and determination that the university becomes second to none is what has made UEA what it is. And finally, may I wish you well for the life journeys upon which you are about to embark. No matter how far from UEA your careers now take you, remember you're always part of the UEA family. Do keep in touch with us and with each other. I declare this congregation closed.